Fall, 1977. Los Angeles buzzed with its usual glamorous life. Hollywood parties, celebrities, shiny cars. But everything changed one October night. On October 17th, near Hillside Memorial Park Cemetery, police discovered the nude body of 19-year-old Yolanda Washington. She had been brutally raped and strangled, her wrists and ankles bearing handcuff marks, and a dark bruise around her neck. This was just the beginning. Within the next few months, more young women were found dead in the hills of LA, all showing signs of sexual violence, torture, and strangulation. 2 weeks later, another body was found. Judith Miller, just 15 years old, vanished after saying she was meeting friends. Her body was discovered in a similar state. By now, it was clear a serial killer was on the loose. Or perhaps more than one. And the press gave them a name, the Hillside Stranglers. But who were they? By day, they looked like normal men. Angelo Buono, 43, was a mechanic. His cousin, Kenneth Bianchi, 26, was unemployed but dreaming of becoming a police officer. By night, they became predators. They would impersonate police officers, using fake badges and flashing lights to stop women, especially sex workers or girls walking alone. Once inside their car, the victims were driven to Buono's house, where they were tortured for hours, raped and strangled. Their bodies were then dumped across the LA hills. Between October and December 1977, they killed Lisa Caston, 21, Dolores Cepeda, 12, Sonia Johnson, 14, Christina Weckler, 20, Jane King, 18, Lauren Wagner, 18, and the list kept growing. Not all were sex workers. Some were schoolgirls, others were students. The message was terrifying. No one was safe. Kenneth Bianchi tries to become a real cop. Why the killings suddenly stopped. And how the nightmare wasn't over yet. Subscribe to the channel to hear the rest of this horrifying case. After their 7th murder, LA residents were panicking. Many believed the killer might actually be a real police officer. The fear wasn't unfounded. The killers were Angelo Buono and Kenneth Bianchi, using police tactics to gain trust, then kill. And one final victim would change everything. Buono and Bianchi perfected their trap. They would stop women under the pretense of an arrest, show them a fake badge, and order them into the car. Once in Buono's garage, the horror began. Victims were tied up, sexually assaulted, tortured, and strangled. Then their bodies were dumped in public places to taunt the police. In January 1978, they murdered 20-year-old Cindy Hudspeth, a hard-working receptionist with no ties to sex work. Her body was found stuffed in the trunk of her car, pushed off a cliff. The brutality shocked even seasoned detectives. But after Cindy's murder, the killings suddenly stopped. Buono got cold feet. He was now married and worried about being caught. He told Bianchi to stop, but Kenneth couldn't. The urge to kill was too strong. So, they went their separate ways. And soon, Bianchi would make a fatal mistake. One that ended their reign of terror. After parting ways with Buono, Kenneth Bianchi moved to Bellingham, Washington, a quiet town where he hoped to start over. He tried to join the police force, but was rejected. Instead, he found work at a private security firm. The job bored him. The cravings returned. In January 1979, Bianchi killed again. This time, without Buono. 2 college students, Karen Mandick and Diane Wilder, went missing. Their bodies were discovered the next day. Both raped, strangled, and dumped, just like the LA victims. But this time, he slipped. A witness placed Bianchi near the crime scene. Police brought him in for questioning. Bianchi nervously tried to lie, but a search of his home revealed belongings of the victims, handcuffs, fake police ID, books about serial killers. In a desperate move, he claimed he had multiple personalities, blaming a different side of himself. But psychiatrists weren't fooled. Under pressure, Bianchi cracked. He said the name that would change the case forever. Angelo Buono, my cousin. We did it together. After Bianchi's confession, police raided Buono's house. They found fibers, hairs, blood traces, just enough to reopen all 10 LA murder cases. But Buono denied everything. He's lying. He's crazy. I never killed anyone. With no fingerprints or DNA, in those days, the prosecution needed more. So they made a deal with the devil. In exchange for avoiding the death penalty, Bianchi agreed to testify against Buono. Over hundreds of hours, he described the killings in horrifying detail. The tools they used, the words they said, and even the last moments of the victims' lives. He led police to locations, reenacted scenes, and revealed what only the real killer could know. The trial lasted over 2 years, making it one of California's longest and most expensive criminal cases. Buono was eventually convicted of 9 murders. Bianchi, 7 murders, including 2 he committed alone. Angelo Buono was sentenced to life without parole. He died of a heart attack in prison in 2002. Kenneth Bianchi remains incarcerated at Washington State Penitentiary. He still files for parole, including one expected in 2025. Buono kept photo albums of the victims in disturbing poses. Some victims were only 12 and 14 years old. Bianchi's cop act was so good, real officers once waved him through a checkpoint. Their garage was later called the House of Hell by investigators. Bianchi faked mental illness for months until psychologists exposed him as a manipulative narcissist.